A new trade war is raging, and no, Donald Trump is not the face of it. This spat, sparked by India's neighbor Bangladesh, may backfire and force them to bear the bitter fruit of their own doing. But there's one country secretly benefiting from all of this. Watch the video till the end to find out. Now this dates back to late 2024 when Bangladesh introduced restrictions on Indian exports and later started escalating these restrictions in April 2025. Dhaka had imposed a ban on Indian yarn imports through major land ports, stricter curbs on rice shipments and bans on paper, tobacco, fish and powdered milk imports. It also imposed a transit fee of 1.8 taka per ton per kilometer on Indian goods passing through Bangladesh. Then, in a tit-for-tat move, India banned imports of at least 7 items from Bangladesh, which make up for 42% imports through land routes. This would impact goods like ready-made garments, processed foods, and plastic items worth around $770 million. These restrictions on Bangladeshi exports to India will apply to all land customs stations and integrated checkposts in Assam, in Meghalaya, in Tripura, Mizoram and through Changrabanda and Fulbari. It's important to note that these imports from Bangladesh are not subject to a total ban, but they will only be allowed through Mumbai's Nhava Sheva and Kolkata's seaports. To put it simply, while Bangladesh banned Indian yarn imports, India has imposed restrictions on the final product made using the yarn, Bangladeshi ready-made garments. Here's the irony though. Bangladesh's land port restrictions block northeastern states' access to its market, limiting local manufacturing growth. Meanwhile, Bangladesh freely accessed the northeast market, creating an imbalance and unhealthy dependency. Both countries share total bilateral trade of approximately $13.18 billion. India's exports to Bangladesh stood at $11.32 billion in 2024, a decrease from 2022, whereas Bangladesh's exports to India stood at $1.86 billion in 2024. It's evident that India has a significant trade surplus with a deficit for Bangladesh of approximately $9 to $10 billion. Now let me paint you a picture of the impact of this trade war. Bangladeshi garments, one of the major exports to India, are valued at around $700 million annually and reached $563 million in the first 10 months of the fiscal year 24-25 itself. Remember that 93% of these shipments historically depend on land routes. So this trade war sparked by Bangladesh could prove to be the fruits of their own doing. Some of this has been highlighted by the Bangladesh Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Association's Administrator Anwar Hussain in a report by The Week. He spoke about the adverse effects of rerouting exports through seaports, warning that extended shipping durations and elevated costs could undermine Bangladesh's competitive edge in the Indian market. All in all, the rerouting of shipments through seaports forces exporters to absorb additional time and shipping costs and the demand from Indian retailers. But while India and Bangladesh are busy fighting it out on the trade front, remember how we said one country is actually benefiting from this? That country is China. Why? Because if Bangladesh loses market access in India, it might look towards China to bridge the gap either for raw materials or export destinations. The second coincidence is that this trade war was sparked off by remarks of Bangladesh's interim government CA Muhammad Yunus on Northeast India. He controversially mentioned that India's northeastern states being landlocked, which could prove to be an opportunity for China.
Eastern part of India, called Seven Sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility. So this could be an extension of the Chinese economy. Build things, produce things, market things, bring things to China, bring it out to the whole rest of the world. That's a production house for you. So that's the opportunity we should seize and we should implement, we should get it done.
This statement further complicated diplomatic ties and prompted strong reactions across party lines in India. Another important thing to trace back is Yunus's March visit to China that resulted in $2.1 billion in investments and cooperation agreements. This signals that the fall of Sheikh Hasina's pro-India government and the rise of Yunus's interim regime have in a way changed Bangladesh's regional stance. By triggering a trade war with India, Dhaka might just have shot themselves in the foot. How will it fill in the gap of the trade deficit and reliance on Indian raw materials? These are just some of the questions that Bangladesh has to consider as it stands cornered. All in all, India's retaliatory measures have given a befitting reply to Bangladesh that might have just been a checkmate in this trade war. For more such videos, stay tuned to NDTV Profit.